Okay, here we go. The name of a stream, so we keep playing stickers by NetEnt. And today is a summary report. So our bet size still the same. We play for the not for the real money, of course, because we're definitely going to lose if we play on real money for real money. So keep in mind that English is not my native language, so I again apologize in advance for all mistakes that I will definitely make. And also remember that this is a dual language stream, so you could see probably sometimes in the chat some questions in Russian, and I will answer them, of course, in Russian. So what we do find and found when we play on this particular slot. Let's watch. So here is the feature. There is no such thing as a bonus game, as you might notice if you play on this particular slot. Here we got sticky spins. Oh, we actually big win. Winning big. So the basic problem is you never trigger the bonus feature, you got sticky spins. Okay, that's all. So it's basically 25x. So what we try to show you on this specific slot. We've played over 5,000 spins, and the summary report will be in the description below this video, and every video that we basically posted, all of them will go with all information in the description box. So you see amount of spins, starting balance, what we ended up with, and other information as well. The main goal of our stream is to talk about slots and casino as well, honestly. So we never tell you that playing on slots is fun activity and all this crap. Because actually they want you to think, and by them I mean like every slot manufacturer, every online casino streamer, or casino online as well, they want you to think that playing slots is very entertaining and thrilling stuff, where in reality you must realize that the more you play, the more addictive you become. And some studies and research show us that people become addictive to slots 3 times faster than other player. For example, baccarat player, blackjack player. Okay, another while. Symbol lands on first reel. So there you see, so we triggered, as you can call it, a bonus feature, and now if we look on our bet size, we see that we bet €1 and we got back €1 as well. So this is an example of what we called break-even bonus. So you might heard about break-even spin, but this is actually what we found. Break-even bonus. So you got all this flashing animation, you got all this epic winning sound, but in reality your balance, it just, you do not lose anything, but you do not win anything as well. But this all information, all this epic winning sounds, all these flashing graphics and lights will be directing into your mind, and your mind absorbs this information and keep it in there in a way that you think that you actually winning, and winning a lot with a lot much frequency that you think. So So you become more addictive to this specific slot. You think that you are actually winning, when in reality, as you might think, we bet €1 and get back €1 as well. So this is another feature of this slot, break-even bonus. And if you talk about all this flashing graphic, all these sounds, oh, here's another example. We bet €1 and we got back 50 cents. So actually we lost 50 cents on this specific spin. But slot celebrates this outcome as a win. But we actually define this is a straightforward, in my opinion, straightforward loss. Because loss, when you if you gamble, you realize that if you bet something and you do not get something on top of you bet or you wagered, this is a loss. But NetEnt production thinks that they can trick you, they can deceive your mind by showing these flashing graphics, and of course with the winning epic sounds and all the celebration stuff. So again, your mind is deceived by this, and you think that you are winning, you're constantly winning. And why is that so? Well, the main goal of any slot producer or any slot provider is to keep you with the game flow, so make you a comfortable zone which you stay in, and so the more you play, the more you lose. And there is a term in the industry such as TOD, which stands for time on device. So more you play, the more you lose. And it's like when you see this again, in my opinion, the slot manufacturer who has designed slot like this and doing such stuff is a lying liar who lies. Because every spin with a false win directs your mind toward a wrong conclusion. Your brain accepts all this celebration stuff as it were a win. But in reality, this is a loss. It's a good illustration, in my opinion, of manipulation and deception. Here is another example of BES, what we call BES, so break-even spin. Again, we bet €1 and we got back €1 as well. So it's break-even. We do not lose, we do not win. But we see all this animation again, celebration stuff, like if it were a win. Same thing. Your mind keeps telling you that you are winning, but in reality, no, you break even. So, in my opinion, there is no necessity of any of the celebration stuff, if you want to be honest. However, the main goal of slot manufacturer is keep you playing. As long as you play, the more you lose. Of course, if we talk a little bit about wild symbols, they very often land on like 5th reel or 4th reel, but very rarely starts to land on 1st and 2nd one, because you just have to realize that all winnings combinations starts in this specific slot starts from left to right, not overwise, and not in both direction. And again, if your mind, and when it's not even if, it's when your mind sees this wild symbol, it actually thinks that something is going to happen, and your dopamine level is constantly increasing. Another example of a loss disguised as a win. We bet €1, we got back 50 cents. We lost on this specific spin. Slots, however, celebrates this outcome. maybe it celebrates this outcome because actually machines realize that we lost and it may be glad. So the main goal of nowadays all these slots are very like accessible, easy accessible for almost everyone on this planet who has internet connection, and that's probably it. Even teenager, if they have access to their parents' card, they can easily bet. They can easily register and easily bet and play whatever game they want. Of course, if they wanna cash out, they definitely face some problems and troubles. But if we're talking about depositing, it's no problem online. Well, here is like another example. This is not even break-even bonus. This is actually a loss disguised as bonus. So we got wild sticker, we got sticker spin, we got all this celebration, changing background, and nothing. In the end, we got nothing. So we basically, all this information was sent into our brain just for fun, because we actually lose. We've lost one bet, so €1, and we got all this celebration stuff, epic sounds, effect, changing background, and all this just for nothing, because we lost. Another sticky spin. So let's see. Here we win 1/4 of our bet. In my opinion, nothing to celebrate here. Keep in mind that we play, of course, for virtual money, not for real, because if you're playing for real money, you definitely be addicted, trying to chase your losses, and it probably might end with something bad things. So we encourage you never to play for real money. Of course, you can argue with that, you can say that you're totally in control of the game, but if we talk briefly about control in this specific spot on this specific game, you are not in control of anything here. You're just clicking buttons on even from the slot manufacturer standpoint, you do not have to stay here and click, and you might use this auto spin feature. Pick the number of auto spins, start them, and go do whatever stuff you want to do, because the main goal, again, making money from your losses. And every slot manufacturer realizes that making money of your losses is very simple by implementing some features like auto spins, like, again, if we see in the settings here we can see quick spin feature, which is on to get faster results than usual, because the faster you play, the more you lose. Another sticky spin, celebration sound, and what we see, and we see another example of losses disguised as bonus. So we've lost 50 cents, we got all this surrounding sound, background changing, all the celebration stuff as if it were a win. In reality, we lost half of our bet. Nice win. And you probably know this phrase that if you keep winning like that, you definitely going to go broke. Just a question of time. The main thing that you have to keep in mind when you're playing is your balance. That's it. This is a total question of the math, and nothing really matters. All these flashing lights, all this bonus feature, they're only here to keep you in the zone, to get this buzz, to increase your dopamine level and all this stuff. So the more slots you see and the evolution of the slot. If you look at evolution of a slot, you see that, for example, back in the days there is no even a single chair in front of slots, any slots. Nowadays, however, you see this comfortable, the most well-designed comfortable armchairs or like racing sports seats. Why is that? Well, because the more you if you want to play longer, and every slot manufacturer and casino want you to play longer, as longer as you play, the more they win, so the more profit they make. So they definitely gonna make the best and buy the best armchairs, the best sport seats. As long as you play, they get more profit. Here's an example of BES again. Break-even spin, celebration stuff, flashing graphics, all this. But we actually break even, so we do not win anything and do not lose anything at all. Nothing to worry about, but actually nothing to celebrate as well. Like the most part, like the big portion of all spins that you see is actually losing ones. But to like to cut a little bit this edge, they add this feature like we talked about previously, losses disguised as wins. So we see here again, we bet €1, we got back 50 cents. Celebration stuff, this is a totally loss, but machine shows us that we just winning, constantly winning. But our balance says that we are losing. And it's totally understandable, because when you think about slots, it's like a smooth ride to zero you out. They don't want you to like losing all your money like in an instant. So there is a phrase: if you provide slot players with right amount time on device, they will stay and play. If you take it too quickly, basically if you take your money very quickly from you and they lose, they're going to leave and they're probably not going back and play again. But if you provide slots player with right amount time on device, and this is an example, the sticker slot by NetEnt production is the right example of all this conception. Because when your mind sees this against false notion about, so it takes all this information as a winning, when in reality this is a loss, you keep playing on this device longer than you might think at first. For example, if you see this losses disguised as wins stuff as like a sign like you losing or this is a loss, you're definitely not going to play longer. So mark these things in your head when next time you play on this specific slot, on any other, especially video slots, modern video slots, because they all based on this conception about deceptions and misleading your mind in a direction towards to make these wrong conclusions. Sometimes losses disguised as wins, called false wins, and they happen on about something about 13 up to 15% on average. Sometimes it's less, sometimes it's more, but 50%, for example, is a big portion of all of your spins. If you typically play like 700 of spin an hour, 105 of them are full of lies, and you lose money on these ones. Break-even spins, again, they are here, they designed to keep you playing on this specific slot longer than normal. Again, another example, we got wild sticky bonus, all these features, sound, celebration, changing background color, but in reality we bet €1, and with all these features we still paid back only 50 cents, so the half of our bet. This is a loss disguised as bonus. So we trigger this bonus feature, but we lost. If you look on slot, red slot, from like slot designer or slot manufacturer perspectives, you realize that this is like boring stuff, because inside of every slot this is a mathematical model, and that's it, and everything based on this mathematical model. Then of course we add RNG, random number generator. Then they add all these graphics, flashing lights, like winning epic sounds. And here you see like everything on top of mathematical model, which of course pre-designed for you to lose. Let's use auto spins, 500 auto spins, and I'm done. When we take this statistical experiment, we try to pick a round amount of number of spins. We actually find out that 5,000 or something between 5,000 and 10,000 spins, in our opinion, will be enough to show you at least something. Of course, if we talk about slot industry and about testing the slot, it takes like thousands, like hundreds and even millions sometimes spins to test it, and then they actually present this slot to you. But we decide that 5,000, 7,000, something around 10,000 at least for the start will be enough. Keep in mind that playing for virtual money, never ever consider that it reflects the PTR or back percentage to player. So basically they can easily increase the amount of payback percentage, and it could be higher than normal, because when you play for real money, you're definitely gonna lose, because there is no money, like limitless amount of money. And if you play for virtual money, there is no such thing as a limit. We can win, for example, gazillion and billions dollars, like from the one bet, if we want. It doesn't matter. So if you play for virtual money, you always keep in mind that you could win. And this is the reason why you think that you can control the slot, you know the strategy and all this stuff, or in the end become false notions. Because you're not in control of the game, you could not develop any strategy, you could not beat any slot. Any slot that you see, and every slot that you see, is a complex, sophisticated program which is totally pre-programmed and pre-designed for you to lose. The only source of income of every casino, every slot manufacturer, every online streamer, online casino streamer or online slot streamer, the only source of their profits and income is basically your loss and your losses. That's it. That's the only way how they earn money. So it's all pre-designed and pre-programmed for you to lose. No one is watching. Well, I guess in the future the audience will be a little bit higher than zero mark. It would be more interested to talk about all these things, about psychology, about something that's scientifically proven, how casinos, how slot manufacturers using all this scientifically proven information in order to make more profits from your losses and all that stuff. We're talking about dopamine function as a neurotransmitter, dopamine level during the game. I can give you some links on the videos on YouTube that you probably find very, very educated and educative. And for now we start with this, with just statistical experiment and showing you this specific sticker slot by NetEnt. When we go further, take another slot, do the same, maybe change a little something on a fly, depends on what you ask us, what you like, some sort of pointing our flows in any direction that you want. So if you want to talk about game addiction, we're talking about game addiction. If you're talking about gambling addiction, about losing money, about how to put yourself out of this shit, we could of course talk about this. Find something interesting in order for you to start or stop doing something and start doing something different. How to realize that slots, all of the slots are designed for you to lose. And in my opinion, if you're talking about gambling addiction, sorry, especially if you play in slots, when we have to, before we start to do something, we have to realize not even that we are addicted to slots or to some other casino games, but we must realize and have to really and totally understand what is slot. Like, if we totally understand how slot designer and slot manufacturer create them, when we start at least understand something, and by understanding we accumulate the knowledge that we definitely use in the future as some balance for our addiction. Because like I said, all slot manufacturers, all casinos, all online casino streamers, they just like wish, hope and pray for you to play preferably for the rest of your life, while the mathematics does the rest. So basically they goal to zero you out. Whatever they want to tell this, of course they never gonna tell that the main, they try to put this all crap about entertaining, like gaming experience and all this shit. And about slot manufacturer and the truth, honestly, about slot. If you look at the bottom of the screen, you can see sometimes where the balance, where the bet size and wins, all that shit. This specific role change, and you see playing for fun. Now you see playing for fun. So basically, if you want to play for fun, here you have it. If you play for the virtual money, this is for fun. This is playing for fun, as a NetEnt production states. So it basically this slot manufacturer tells us, like directly tells us, this, if you're playing for virtual money, this is playing for fun. From a logical standpoint, if you're playing for virtual money and it's playing for fun, so when you play for real money, it ain't fun anymore. In my opinion, this ain't fun anymore, because now all of a sudden you start to trying to beat the math, and this is impossible, because every slot again is designed and made upon the math, and you are never ever going to beat the mathematics. Just impossible. You're never ever going to beat this any slot, because it's pre-programmed for you to lose, it's designed for you to lose, and there is no way around. And it doesn't matter who you are or what you are, it doesn't matter at all, because you are not in control of any part of this game. You're just simply an observer. You watch and that's it. But if you think about the process that is held in now, what is this? We're actually watching that slot plays itself, and that's it. We are here doing nothing. We're just watching this whole process. And if we turn sound on, we accept of watching, we actually listening to all this epic wind sounds and all the sounds, and that's it. It's like in a cinema, watching the movie, pre-designed, pre-programmed, pre-whatever movie. We just observers, and we just viewers and watchers. No, that's it. We do nothing. We're not in control of this game. So we could just pick the right amount of auto spins, set for example this number to 1000, then go out and do our stuff, and the slot does the rest. It's basically will suck every cent and every euro from our balance. It's just a question of time. So for example, if we do these auto spins for eternity, we end up with losing all of our cash balance.